If you're looking for some straight-up marketing advice that's super chilled and also a bit of a laugh, then grab yourself a drink and get ready for Marketing and Margaritas, a podcast that makes marketing entertaining. Brought to you by Rebel Nation, direct from regional Queensland.
Hi and welcome to Marketing Margaritas. I am joined by Michelle from One Hungry Mumma today, and we're going to be talking about building a brand from nothing but pure passion. So Michelle is not, from a marketing background or anything like that. She is a business owner, and she has built that business from just having a pure passion for what she does, which I love when people do that. I love when people actually give such a shit about something that they build a business out of it. But also, I know that, even for me, like, just because I'm good at marketing doesn't mean that I'm actually good at running a business. Someone can be a great tradie, doesn't mean they should open their own shop, sort of thing. So it's one does not equal the other. And I just think what you're doing and what you've done is really amazing. So I'm very excited to have you on today. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. So One Hungry Mumma, we've got amazing sauces, rubs, jams, condiments, all of these things, these products we can buy. Now we have events and classes and all these kind of things happening in Mackay as well. It's just fantastic. I think, having people visit here and being able to have all these awesome local businesses that we can show off to them and stuff, and obviously use ourselves and everything too. So we worked with you recently and you won me over straight away because you brought food to our first meeting. That's a huge tick. No one's done that before.
Oh, really?
Salespeople will bring like coffee and treats and stuff, but this was made from love.
It was.
And now you've brought me more, which I'm so excited about because I
know how to win you over already.
Yeah. So in our first one, you brought one of your signature products, but it was a spicy one, and I'm a fucking sook. I can't eat spice. My nephew is a massive foodie. I gave it to him, and he fell in love.
Oh.
So that was great because he ended up being your web dev.
There you go.
Yes. Oh, Taryn is my nephew.
Oh, I didn't realise that. There you
go. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm sure he's really glad that I've put that on the podcast again. Whenever I put it out there, he gets really happy. He's really glad I do
I'm
it.
Sure.
Yeah. So this one I have today is spiced pumpkin chutney, but you promised me it's not spicy. It's just
spices.
And that's the thing, I love spices, man.
Yeah.
And even like curries, like I love curry. I just can't take the heat
yeah.
part of it. It's really annoying.
Yeah. No, you'll like that with a bit of cheese, a bit of wine.
I love cheese. Wine, I do that occasionally.
Whatever, water, whatever.
No, I'll definitely go to wine. So thanks again for coming in today. And before we launch into the businessy part, let's launch into the you part. What first drew you to cooking? What was it about cooking that, really does ignite you?
I think my husband and I have lived in Finch Hatton, which is a rural area, for 26 years. We've
Beautiful
been
area.
Married. Yeah, it's gorgeous. But it's like a little village. There's no, Thai down the road or Japanese down the road.
Yeah, of course.
And we love eating. So we couldn't just, and we had like a young family, we couldn't just hop in the car and drive an hour to go and get our craving. I think so. We just started cooking, really, and that's where the real love came from. I suppose.
Yeah, you wanted to have all these different cuisines, and you're like, going out and getting it's not super easy. Fuck it, I'll do it myself.
Exactly. And I think as time went on, it sort of became our thing too. And the longer we've been together, the more he's actually getting into cooking, which is quite good. But we use it as a bit of a bonding time. In saying that, my mum was always a good cook, just a good home cook, throw a bit of this in, a bit of that in. So I probably watched her growing up as well.
Yeah. And had a comfort level of like, this is not a scary thing. This is something to play with. This is fun.
Yes,
this is creative.
Exactly. I was just going to say exactly. It's a creative space for me, and it's a way you can grow and learn new things. And we're really lucky these days because there's so much information out there. But yeah, so I think it was just a love for food. Really, I just like eating.
Yeah, same.
Hence the name, One Hungry Mumma. Like, there's a reason that's what the business is called.
It's just so unabashed. Like, it just puts it out there, but in a really beautiful way. And I'm like, if you can listen to anyone about food, it's going to be One Hungry Mumma.
Yeah. I've got lots of experience.
And so I guess, you're starting off like cooking for the family, wanting to sample different cuisines and all that kind of thing. That was then, how long ago was that?
So, like I said, I've always cooked, since since we first got married, I suppose. So it's always been a big part of my life, just experimenting. But as far as the actual condiment side of the cooking, that sort of came about later in life. So that came about when I had my second child. So we had 15 years between our children, my husband and I.
Right.
Yeah, so
wow,
we had,
that's an interesting
yeah, that's
way of
another
going about
whole episode probably, Jay.
Okay, yeah.
But we had a lot of fertility issues. So when I had Charlie, our daughter, I kind of thought, you know what?
name.
I know. It's very cute. I was like, I'm not going to rush back to work. You know, we waited so long for this.
I'm going to actually enjoy this.
And enjoy it. And I was that bit older, you know, when we
Yeah.
had our first child, I was like 22.
Yeah,
so
you're a baby. You're
I was
still a baby yourself.
My son is like, our son is now older than I was when I had him, which is just weird. But it was a different stage of my life. And living rurally, again, we had a beautiful veggie garden. And I don't know whether it was because it took me so long to have a second child, but I felt really like Superwoman. And I had this veggie garden and this acre of land. And I was like, I'm just going to, you know.
I ship down now.
Yeah. I'm like, look at me going
One
making
hungry earth,
jams.
mama.
I know. That's exactly what it was like. I just felt, well, to be honest, I started creating like muffins and things, like biscuits and stuff originally, and then I just made heaps of them, and I really sucked at it. They were really terrible. So my husband was really glad when I started making condiments because they were much nicer than the muffins.
I love it. One hungry mama, action the baking side, not so much.
Not so much, yeah. No, but
We still went hungry.
Yeah, yeah. In all honesty, yeah, that's basically how that love came, the condiment thing. That was completely new for me. Like, that was something I'd never really done before.
And again, it's just that experimenting, trying things out, not being afraid to have a go of it.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'm not really a recipe person, so I did a lot of research on how to preserve things because obviously there's a science behind it. And, you know,
and you don't want to use up a whole bunch of ingredients and then have things go off or explode or whatever might happen.
Exactly, yeah. Cause someone to get sick, you know.
Yes, oh yeah, that one too, yeah.
But
I'm like, I hate waste. Someone getting sick, that's their problem.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so the more I sort of got into that, just experimenting with it, the veggies and not wanting to waste the local produce, that's, I suppose, where the love for the condiments came in.
Okay,
The
and
real
is that,
passion
is
stuff.
that where One Hungry Mumma was born?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was the condiments and
It
stuff.
was.
This was after the second kid. So when was that?
So I started 8 years ago.
Okay.
Literally, my daughter was still in a rocker on the bench as I was chopping and cooking in my pot. But eventually, I sort of probably 6 months later, I got a council license, just a home-based license to start.
Yep.
And then I remember standing at my first market, which was a Father's Day market, going, how the frig did this happen? Like, I never in a million years thought I would be standing there with the name One Hungry Mumma and a range of condiments and selling them in a market. Like, that was never in my scope of what my life plan was.
Yeah.
I look back at now quite often and think that's just bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, to the way you got yourself there and everything. And I guess, you know, when you were finding, you know, out that you enjoyed condiments and, you know, doing your own recipes and experimenting, that sort of stuff, starting the business, why did you actually start the business? Why didn't you just keep doing it for the family?
I think, so my story's a little bit different in the fact that the name actually came before the business. So One Hungry Mumma was, I think I was just, as much as I'm enjoying my baby, you hear a lot of mums saying this, but you miss that creative outlet. Like, I'm a very creative person, which I didn't realise at the time, but I just wanted something for me. So One Hungry Mumma was actually a Facebook page, and if you go back and look at it, it was diabolical. Like, honestly,
We all start from somewhere.
But I remember ringing a friend of mine and just saying, what do you think if I start this page and put a few of my experiments up and recipes and people can share? That's how it started. So that actually came before the business. But I suppose what made me actually start it just evolved. I just got more and more passionate about having my own business to start with. Like, it's always been something I've been interested in. I don't know, I grew up in a 7-day-a-week business, like with my parents. I don't know whether like there's a little bit of that had, you know, something to do with it. But I just love the creativity you get from your own business. So as the products grew and my brand grew, I don't know, I just thought this is where I want to be now.
And it's such a great brand. It's such a great product line.
Thank you.
Expanding into the classes and everything. Like, by the time I'll see something and be like, oh, I should go tell someone, it's sold out. Like, it seems to just be going great guns for you. How does it feel now? Like, does it feel like things are on the up and up, or is it sort of like, I mean, I know for me, I sort of go between things being so fucking awesome and then holy shit, this is scary multiple times a day.
Oh,
so
yeah.
everyone's like, how's business? And I'm like, awesome and terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I can't lie. I can't just be like, everything's great. I'm like, nah, man, like shit's fucking cray, but it's good.
Yeah. And that's what we love about business. I don't think you would do it if you couldn't deal with those ups and downs. Like, oh my gosh, I look back at the beginning and the amount of times I cried in one day was just like crazy over things that I'd look at now and go, oh my God, what did you sweat about that for?
You just get so much stronger and more resilient and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And because the hits keep coming, they do not.
And you're like, bring it on.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I've gone through worse than this. Just try and take me down. Please try.
Yes, I
Actually,
know.
no, don't. I'm very fragile still.
I don't know if that's an age thing or whether it's a business thing or a combination of both. But yes, I completely understand. Yes.
But that's the thing. You're in your business. You're running it. You're still doing the actual, like you're still doing the making and everything.
Yeah. So I have a couple of staff that come in and help on a casual basis, which I wish I'd done it earlier. That's one of my tips. Don't be afraid to put on staff. But majority, I do everything still. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. I know, like I went from, mine's a bit different because I was a sole trader and then I bought a business to merge with mine.
Okay.
So I went from me to like a team of 5 or something overnight.
Right.
Literally.
Oh yeah, learning curve.
Yeah. Why not do that? That's such a smart idea.
Yeah, great.
No, it's all part of the journey, man. But it's like you said, you look back at some things where you're like, I can't believe I used to worry about that.
Yeah.
Like that's like not even a blip on my radar anymore.
Exactly.
You know, and that's it. I just think there's always going to be those problems and things to deal with, but the rewards of being able to do what you want and the creative outlet, and I think just putting things that you love out into the world.
Yes.
And getting paid for it.
I know.
It's fucking cool, man.
It is cool. Yeah.
Or just bringing it to very grateful.
I do give a lot away. So be my friend. Have some chutney.
No. Have you ever met Abby from Stomping Elephants?
Yes, once. I was fortunate enough to meet her once. Yes.
She is
gorgeous.
exactly the same. So if she sends you something, like she'll send you a pair of earrings with it. She came into our office one time to talk about something, and it was Daffodil Day, and she'd bought all these yellow earrings in for the girls to choose from. And she's just same thing with products. She's just such a giver. That's why she makes it, is because she loves it. She loves sharing what she does with people.
Exactly.
And it shows, you know.
Oh, definitely. Well, she's done so well, and that's the reason she's still got that passion.
She really does. Yeah. Okay. This is not about her, it's about you.
It's not.
So, building a brand from pure passion. Oh my God, I'm stumbling around my words.
That's right.
Like I said, there's lots of setbacks that are going to happen at no matter what stage of business you are, and that perseverance to keep going. You know, people start businesses from it's a passion project that turns into a business. There can be that circumstance where the passion runs out and it becomes difficult, etc. And I think that to me, you look like you're just charging on, and whatever might be happening behind it. And I know people say this to me too. It's like, oh, you're so successful. I'm like, no, I'm fucking not.
Yeah,
I'm a fucking hot mess, and my shit is crap. Don't even look behind the fucking very, very fragile facade.
Yeah.
But on the outside, dude, like you're doing what you love, and you're sharing this with people, and people are getting excited about it and enjoying it and sharing it back with you, etc. Like it looks like you're just you're like really living in your purpose. It looks like what you're doing is what you really love, and people are loving it, and that's just such a beautiful place to be. But getting there, I guess, what are the things that you feel that you did right on this journey, right being a relative term, and what are the things that you do feel that did go wrong?
I think the biggest thing I'm probably aware of that I did right, and I suppose every business is a bit different, because mine is such a personal, this is me in a jar pretty much.
Yeah.
Like,
You are the One Hungry Mumma.
But I shared my story, in doing that, and when I say I shared my story, like my brand is very much about me, my story, how I started originally. And I don't know, I feel that I opened up and let people in to be part of my journey, if that makes sense.
Which is huge.
Yeah, it's like they grew with me, and I appreciate that so much. Yeah, very honest. And I am very honest, sometimes too honest. But I do think that's something that I have done right, is built that brand around what's important to me, what my values are, both personally and a business. And I've always stuck to that. So even when I've grown and the things that I'm doing now, like with the workshops and the classes, I make sure that I bring it around that connecting people. You know, I always used to say it's not just a chutney. Who are you going to share that chutney with? You know, what are the conversations
you're going to have
exactly?
together?
Yeah, exactly. What conversations? What memories? So everything
this
I
is going
do,
to be a prune this weekend, just so you know.
Well, there you go. So, but that's what it's about. So it's just, yeah, I have always kept that integrity, I suppose, of my brand. So I'm very proud of that, and I think I have done that well for somebody that didn't really have any experience. Things I've done wrong, lots of them.
I suppose any specific memorable things where you're like, if I'd just done this a bit differently, or you're like, nah, fuck it, no regrets?
Yeah, look, there's no regrets, because I feel like the brand and my business wouldn't be what it is today if I hadn't have made those mistakes. Probably my biggest thing I've learned, though, is to trust my intuition. So originally in business, I would be like, everyone's my customer, or because I have retailers that sell my products, you know, if they were wanting it, I would just, yep, you can sell it. Whereas sometimes my gut was telling me I don't think this is the right fit, but I didn't have the confidence to go, oh no, and it
I'm
hasn't
starting
worked
out. They know,
so
who am I to know this?
Yeah, so I think that's probably the one thing that I would have changed, is just trusting yourself. Yeah.
I was talking to a friend the other day, and she said that she was working with this really high up corporate executive dude who's like, you know, extremely high management and, you know, commands like big meeting, you know, like just someone where you think like very, you know, busy and important, that real cliched kind of executive thing or whatever. And one of his, but he's really down to earth, and he's a really lovely guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, one of the biggest things he's learned is that the higher up you go, the more that you understand that no one knows what they're doing. And it's just like some people are like better at hiding it than others.
Yes.
Some people are quite comfortable sharing it, saying, look, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to give this a try.
Exactly.
And it's that, I think that what can set you apart is someone who actually listens to themselves. You know what I mean? Because who's to say that what you think and what you feel is any better or worse than what I think or I feel? You know what I mean? Like,
it's having that confidence in yourself and your own worth, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And that what you bring to the table is important and has value.
Yes.
And even if you were to be, you know, a major conglomerate with One Hungry Mumma across the nation in every supermarket or whatever, you know, that version of Michelle probably still will have no fucking idea what she's doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still just tuning in and going, this feels right, this feels wrong.
Yeah, hopefully you have people that do know what they're doing in that I always say, all my staff, I'm like, I hope they're better than me. Like, that's, you hire people to have skills that you don't have. Like, I'm down with that. Yeah.
I love having people around me that are better at stuff than me.
Yeah.
Because then you get to learn from them too.
I agree completely, yeah.
Okay, so if you know, I think, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way at all, but I think that there's a lot of people who start with like that home hobby business, or, you know, like that kind of social media page sort of thing where you're just like, I'm just going to have some fun with this and put this out.
Yep.
And then now it's turned into this full-scale business where they're, you know, whatever kind of operation stuff it is that you have a product, you have multiple product lines, you also have live engagements, you know, you have staff, like you are a full business now. If you were starting over from scratch, what would you do different? Like for those people who are, you know, maybe that home hobby thing and sort of dream of having a business, or who are just at the start of that business stage, what would you say to them that you're like, if I went back, this is what I would do differently?
I think if you're starting as a hobby, it's different to, like you say, buying a business or having a clear path. I would definitely recommend looking at your product and service and going, is this something I'm still going to be passionate about in 10 years? Is there room for growth? Is it something that, is going to be relevant, that people want? And am I going to be happy like doing this every day? Because realistically, as a small business owner, until you get that, you know, it's a fine line between work-life balance when you're a small business owner.
I don't even like that term.
No,
like,
because it's part of your life. Like,
and I'm not ashamed that I love my work.
Yes.
And I don't care if I work a lot of hours or I don't work that many hours.
Yes.
my work is a big part of who I am, and the older I get, the more proud of that I am, as opposed to being like, oh, you know, you're a workaholic and stuff sort of thing. It's like, well, no, I just love what I do. What's so shameful about that?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And there's nothing to be shameful. You just have to be aware, I think, like I say, with a hobby, that you might enjoy it as a hobby, but are you going to enjoy that
when
in
it's
10
on a production
years' time?
line?
And not that you have to keep in business for 10 years, or there's no set time. You could do it for a year or whatever. Whatever. I'm a big believer in you do things at a time of your life when it's right for you. But I do think if you're starting, you need to just be a little bit realistic about what you're doing. Are you still going to love it? Is there room to grow with it? So like my condiments, I still love making my condiments. Could I only still be doing my condiments that I've been doing for 8 years? Maybe not. I love
they might
doing
feel
them.
a bit too limited.
Yeah, that's why
because you're creative.
Yes.
You're trying different avenues, and that's where the business is great. And we're the same.
Yes.
I can't, like, I'm not going to be doing the exact same thing now that I was doing 5 years ago.
No.
Like, we keep improving and, you know, changing our offering, not changing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
upgrading it.
Yeah.
Because I'm growing and evolving.
Exactly. And you do that, like I said, that's why I do the workshops and the small group. That's one of the reasons. It's because it's a creative outlet for me. I saw the need. I like to connect people, and it gives me a difference between just making condiments in big pots in a hot kitchen every single day to being able to plan an event. And so just look at what you're doing. That would be one of my advice. Have some kind of a plan. So
I'm a planner, so trust. I'm
a planner to a certain extent, but things like that, I'm just completely winging it, which has kind of worked for me for 45 years, really. But anyway,
just side note,
my
45 years
accountant would not agree with that. So have some kind of a plan, even if it's just like a notebook that says, you know, who's my customer, what's my business, all those things. That just so you've got an idea.
People get plan and they think like, oh, I've got to go download this template and have all this thing.
No,
they can
a
be
whiteboard,
useful.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
just
vision.
Just think. And then write a few things down.
Yes, just a bit of a vision. So when you do have those days, you can look back at it and go, this is why, you know, or because if you're like me, especially if you are a creative person, your mind's going 100 miles an hour. So you think of all these avenues. So it's good to just have, I wish I just had a bit more of a plan to go, okay, Michelle, suck it in. This is why you're doing this. This is your direction. 3 things. The third thing would be getting an accountant early. A good one.
Yes.
Because, you know, that can change. That can change the time frame in getting to where you want to get. If
cash
you have
flow
good cash flow.
Cash flow can either make things easy or hard.
Yeah, definitely. And I think
if you've got the ideas and the drive and the passion, the purpose, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
money is still the lifeblood of a business in the sense of like being able to continue doing what you want to do with your life.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like I say, it comes back to that passion thing, that hobby, because it's more like, I didn't probably realise it was a real business. I didn't class it as a real business, even though I had insurance and ABN, and I just thought, well, this is me, and then this is everyone else. So it's knowing that value and that worth, and if I'd known that earlier, then I probably would have had these processes in place. But again, like I say, if I'd done that, it might not be what it is today. It might have been too rigid.
And that's the thing. I don't think that looking back and going, oh, this is what I would have done differently is necessarily. I think it's really important to reflect. And I think it's not about beating yourself up for those things, but then it's about going, okay, now that I've reflected, this is what I would do differently. Don't forget that in the future.
Yes, I agree.
You know, don't drop those balls in the future. Learn those lessons.
Yeah,
because I know one of the things I think is that if you just keep tunneling forward and you don't reflect on stuff, you kind of just tend to make the same mistakes over and over.
Yes.
Like I know, like one of my biggest things is that, because I have so many ideas, is prioritizing and being realistic about what I can get done in a certain time frame. Because I want to do everything, and I want it to have all happened today already.
Oh my, that's
and it's
so mean.
hard for me to actually go, shit takes time, and you can't just do what you want all the time, sort of thing. So that learning to prioritize thing is like such a big lesson for me that I'm still trying to learn. Like you said,
I'm completely still trying to learn it.
But it's like when I go back and I look at my vision statement, my mission, my purpose, my goals, etc., and my business plan, that snaps me back to,
yes,
I'm going to focus. All of these other ideas are fantastic and fun and awesome, and they can go in my ideas file, But this is what I'm actually focusing on for now, and I'm still really excited about this too. That's where I find a plan comes in useful, is that clarity.
Yes.
Because when I have too many ideas and too many focuses, I don't actually move forward at all. And that's where I find I stagnate.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. And without that plan and without, you know, better people around me to go, I mean, my husband just goes, every time I give him a new idea, he's like, I get that look. It's like, oh, okay, slow down.
What's happening now? You're like, no, wait. I see that look,
but you don't understand.
One Hungry Mumma on Mars. I'm telling you, it's going to work.
He keeps me grounded.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Cool. All right. So I just wanted to have one final little wrap-up tip today, and that is the secret sauce, quite literally. Tell us, what is the secret to being a good home cook?
Experimenting, not being scared to have a go. At the end of the day, it's food, right? It's not rocket science, or, you know,
it's not brain surgery.
It's not brain surgery. It's food. If it doesn't work, well, hopefully the dog will eat it. If the dog doesn't eat it, then you're probably in a wrong career, just saying. But no, just have a go and just be creative and do it because you love it. Use good produce. Makes food really good. That's my big thing that I've always stuck to.
Ingredients.
Yeah, have good quality ingredients. It doesn't have to be
anything.
No, exactly. So keep it simple, good quality ingredients, and share it with people you love.
Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this. I really appreciate it. That was a lot of fun, man.
That was a lot. I don't know whether you actually got anything useful out of it, but it was fun.
Got a lot useful.
Thanks, Jen.
No, I appreciate it. And thank you for joining us as well. Hope you tune in next time as well. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Marketing and Margaritas. Find more free marketing tips, tricks and laughs at rebelnation.com.au.